Today, you guys are going to learn how to write an A+ exit ticket. Step 1 is to read the exit ticket question and attack the prompt. You're going to do this before you even ever start reading. So our question today is, what impact does Jam's grandma have on her? Now, attack the prompt means to break down the question so I know what to look for when I'm reading. The word impact means change. So if Jam's grandma is going to have an impact on her, I know that Jam is going to have to change. So the first thing I'm looking for is, how does Jam change? I'm going to look for that when I'm annotating. The second part, if Jam's grandma is going to have an impact on her, Jam's grandma must say or do something to Jam to make her change. So the second thing I'm going to look for is what Jam's grandma says or what she does. So these are the two things that we're looking for. I've attacked my prompt. I know what I'm looking for. It is time to read our story for today. Today's story is called Jam. I am a jar of peanut butter. I am a jar of peanut butter. I am a peanut. I'm a jar of peanut butter too. Doo-doo-doo. No, you're not. Yes I am. I'm totally a jar of peanut butter. Neo peanut butter, as it were. Whatever. Oh. Who's this guy kidding? Darn it, Junior, you're a jar of jam. You're tasty, sweet, and full of berry goodness. So stop this peanut butter nonsense and accept yourself as you are, a taste-delicious little jar of jam. I'm sweet. And I'm full of berry goodness. I am a jar of jam. I am a jar of jam. I am a jar of jam, a jar of jam. I am who I am, just a little jar of jam. Ah, self-acceptance is so beautiful. I'm a peanut. The end. So now that we've read, pretend that we've annotated for the parts that we are looking for after we attack the prompt. It is time to write our exit ticket, and there are 3 important parts in order to make an A+ on your exit ticket: the assertion, the evidence, and the reasoning. The assertion, the first part of your exit ticket. An assertion is a confident statement that answers the question, sometimes about a belief and sometimes about a fact. So sometimes I might ask you a question that involves you giving your opinion, or sometimes I might ask you a question about a fact from a story like today. No matter what question I ask, you're going to answer it with a confident assertion in one sentence. A hint to make assertion easier is you look at the question and you reword it into a statement. So my assertion for this story, answering this question, what impact does Jam's grandma have on her? I said, Jam's grandma helped Jam by making her feel more confident in herself. Now the next part that you need to include in your exit ticket is your evidence. So, a lot of times you guys answer questions in class and I tell you to prove it, or I might even say prove it with evidence. That means you need to read a quote from the book that proves that your assertion is true. So, evidence is a direct quote from the book. That means you copy it straight from the book. That proves your assertion. A big hint is that annotating makes this way easier. If you have good annotations, it's easier to find evidence when you're at the exit ticket. So, remember I said that Jam's grandma helps her by making her feel more confident in my assertion? I need to prove that. So this is the evidence that I use. So stop this peanut butter nonsense and accept yourself as you are, a taste-delicious little jar of jam. That proves my assertion because that is the grandma making Jam feel more confident. Notice I put my evidence in quotation marks. When you quote something from a text, you always have to put these around it because that shows whoever is reading it that you didn't say that, but the author of the book said it. Now, it's kind of weird if you just stick your evidence right in the middle of the exit ticket, so you need to introduce it. This is the beginning of a sentence that I always say. In the text, it says, and then you stick your evidence right inside the quotation marks. But you'll learn more about this in Miss Arnold's class. And the very last part of your exit ticket is writing your reasoning. The assertion and the evidence are pretty easy, but the reasoning is the hardest part because it has two different sections. First, in your reasoning, you need to explain your evidence. So pretend that the person reading your exit ticket has never read the book before. You need to explain to them what that quote from the book is talking about. And second, you need to connect your evidence back to your assertion. So you'll see this in my example. A hint, take this one part at a time. First, watch me explain my evidence. So I use that quote from Jam's grandma, and I'm going to explain to my reader what that quote is. I said, "This shows Jam's grandma giving her advice." Now I want to connect it back to my assertion. Remember my assertion said that Jam's grandma helped Jam by making her feel more confident? Listen to see if you hear those words in my reasoning. This proves that Jam's grandma helped Jam by making her feel more confident. I almost used the same exact words. So, lastly, you're going to put it all together to make one beautiful paragraph for your exit ticket. Remember, this was the question. What impact does Jam's grandma have on her? This is my complete answer that would make an A+ on my exit ticket. Jam's grandma helped Jam by making her feel more confident in herself. In the text, it says, "So stop this peanut butter nonsense and accept yourself as you are, a taste-delicious little jar of jam." This shows Jam's grandma giving her advice. This proves that Jam's grandma helped Jam by making her feel more confident. So I brought it full circle by using the same words at the beginning with some of those same words at the end. Notice you see the same words. Jam's grandma helped Jam by making her feel more confident in the assertion and in the reasoning. Once again, you start off with your assertion, which is your confidence statement that answers the question. Second, you introduce your evidence, which is a quote from the book that proves it. And lastly, you put your reasoning, which explains your evidence and then connects back to your claim.